Everyone wants the fruit, but very few are willing to plant the seeds, water the soil, and wait patiently for the tree to grow. Even though every tree needs a lot of time to grow, if we don't put in the effort and time, there will never be a tree, and we would all have to be satisfied with less than we could have. Welcome everyone, my name is Tobias Philipp, and the topic of this episode is the trap of instant gratification. Nobody wants to wait for the things he desires. Of course, we all want it as quickly as possible, and no one desires something to take a very long time and to invest a lot of time and effort into it only for it to maybe not even turn out as they wanted. And this is the reality for the majority of the people today, at least in my opinion. If it only looks like it takes a lot of work and time, many will not even start or try in advance. And there is very little desire or willingness to invest long term, only in search of quick and easy results that provide very basic and short term pleasure. And this is why there are so many people looking for a quick fix and not wanting to do any genuinely hard work. Everyone understands this principle, but there's a very big difference, and it's very tough to not only understand it, but actually put it into practice. Feel it, live it, and be aware of it, especially in those moments when there is that thing that you really want to have. But we all know very well that everything that is even worth having doesn't come easily or quickly. We have all experienced it in some way in our lives, and for the people who actually were patient and put in the time and effort, you will certainly understand what I mean. And think about it for yourself. What would all be possible if you just worked on something for a whole year without stopping and worked on it every week without having to see immediate results? I certainly believe you can very well imagine what would happen. And the more time and energy you put into something, the bigger it will grow and the better it will become. And this goes for planting a tree, but is literally the case for everything. The people who are very good at something work on it for a very long time. Take Max Verstappen for example. He is now a 3-time world champion in Formula 1. But what people don't see are the years and years of trial and error, working on it every day, saying no to so many things his friends and people his age were doing, making so many sacrifices to now be as good as he is today. And of course he's got talent, but talent only makes a difference after working just as hard as the next person in line. Only then will talent make that much difference between number 2 and number 1. And that's just how the world works. Everything you want has to be earned. And for everything you pay a price in some way, whether it be time, energy, sacrifice, or possibly money. But everything you want has to be earned, and there are no shortcuts. And this is also a very good reminder for myself. We are at a certain point in life and have a different point in mind where we want to go. And for us to get to that point, there's a path we need to complete. And before starting, it looks very uncertain, and we might doubt if we will even make it to the end point, which is the reason why we don't even start. Because if we put all our time and effort in it and we don't get there, it seems like a waste of time and it will make us disappointed. But if we don't start, at least it is certain that you will never get there. And it is all just part of a process. You start at point 0 and you work your way up. Step by step you learn something new. And you cannot skip any steps. Every step needs to be taken, because if you try to skip a step, you will miss needed information. And if you want to proceed, you will soon find out that there are just things that you don't know or that you cannot do, which are needed to move forward, which then forces you to take a step back and do it anyway. And only looking back you can and will connect all the dots, and only then understand why you had to go through certain stages to get where you are right now. And in my mind it is very simple. If you don't put in the effort and go to the struggle, you better put it out of your own head, because then it simply will never happen. And if you really want to do something or really want to get somewhere, there's always a road that must be traveled. And it is never guaranteed that you will make it, but it is guaranteed that you will not make it if you don't even try. And it is all just a matter of perspective, in my opinion. If we can get our heads around this and really understand this principle and be aware that it's just the way the world works, it takes a lot away a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. And it makes it a whole lot easier to just embrace that road that just needs to be taken to even be able to get somewhere. You cannot expect to go to a place without getting out of your house and moving yourself towards that location. You have to get up and do whatever it takes to get to the destination you want to go. And that's at least how I look at it. Let me know in the comments about your opinion. Also share this episode with others who you think may find it useful. It would be very much appreciated. And thank you very much for listening.